level of understanding remains the same. We arrive like this. We correct ourselves. We do not erase. It is good for us. Let's continue now. USA. Keep going northwest. North. Earlier you were talking about being happy as a result of being in contact with the Creator. So is some type of manufactured happiness that we have with the Creator. When I perform some action related to spirituality, I feel all the spiritual passes over all the nerves. We feel them, and even though we do not understand these, but we have not felt this special admiration yet. Maybe all this admiration comes to us to the extent that we do. How should he be in achieving the powers? Let's say Majin kill seconds. Door. Music. Suddenly feels and sows. After the admiration, these delights, the spiritual side is in order. Hadron. Rabbi. Where in the movie you do not want to hear. Why? Latin. Cran. Permanent. Solomon is a great thing. Solomon is a great thing. To be on top of the stairs. Let them go. But love. Thank you. Thank you. Permanent Creator. A question with humor can be lost in general. This will continue until a person can't get up. Try to connect in all situations. We don't need to sit together all the time for this. We need to build a sense of self and in the world. And so we do it, at least in such a way that I am my instrument, my soul. It does. And free me from relating to the outside world. Also, the inner form that I'm building should also be. Thank you, Raf. Tell me, please, the threshold of sensitivity should be spiritual, which I should use for the purpose of feeling that we are still receiving, for the influence of connecting to choose something in our hearts, connecting to our one goal, so that we are above our desires. I don't have to get used to it. Thank you, teacher. Teve a yet seve esya alka a yete esa este a ye n a s a este a ye n a ye he a ezeve ode ite ye el yuri n a n ye ge at te yuri esya. I think it is through the exercises in the group that calls the whole group. You will see what the rabbi writes, that you have long been our teacher. Today, all of us in the economy today, not in a rabbi hour, will discover new points there. How new points to you the new must working creates. He hears him, fulfills him. He can return. Please, that the Creator relates to. This should be as a result. We need our attitude to be saved according to my will as we have will to receive. 17. Good times of the day of the world. Thank you, races. Music that you are approaching the highest, and he is. Kemste also writes here. You are lucky. Using more possible so that we can build to him the spirituality for every syllable. Therefore it is important for us to be ready. A person wants to rise above his little boy every time he joins his friend and returns to this little boy in the Torah, his brothers, so to speak, and then all the fruits of the speech to the Egyptians. You who are the bull. This is a force that we need to bless the Kabbalists to the Egyptians, a great one called bulls, to bless the chapter precisely because of the bulls. After this, from the path, because the opposite of the Creator, to rise above his little boy and return to this Pharaoh to all the fish given to the degrees of increase is any unpleasant situation that a person feels. Whenever he is distanced according to when we advance like this. I do not leave the whole process with the group in the form of a pit. This is a very important point. With the Creator, if I am not respected, if I disconnect what is connected to the pit, it is enough from the exit, not touch. It's the correction I park form, and if I am with the Creator, with the immersion. So, in the meantime, like this, the Creator gives to some feeling. It's for the time being the Creator is given me so I can advance. But in truth, our goal is construct from there. Dear friends, we will now move on to the lesson on the broadcast of the name. Strong is there in you, and be saved in you, and receive the name strong from the mouth of your heart. Strong your heart, and receive the name. Kabosh. Hey, peace we read in the Talmud 10. The Sephirot are found in the words of Ari, the title. Comprehensive, and the inner light is in the identity of the tools. The inner lights, the lights, establish their T's atom together. They are, in the identity, the child of a minute letter, and an inner one in each other, the hiding, internal, if the light surround, then together, except for the mouth. They establish an identity as a small letter or internal to the letter E, explaining the connection of the lights with the surrounding lights. You already knew that the mouth in the kingdom of the head of thought is a screen of the upper light from the upper basin through which it comes. Even though the corrected mass in the mouth does not receive it, it is called a dimpering. Then every degree of the upper light that is worthy of coming, as stated, repeats not their fruits, and it is found that all the future lights are surrounding lights that are included in the same head, because this is the upper light that is not fixed in the examination of all reality, although by all the righteous peerings the examination is thorough, which will be worthy of infinity, as it is written in the Zohar, until they are not given to it. All the surrounding lights are included in the screen, which the rabbi says, with the opposite. Yes, good, let's see. The creator is felt by the creatures. Yes, dear Raf. Here it is written that the world must enter into the world, but it does not go to its source, and it becomes the first 9 words. Internal and hyphenated the first music. NASVYT. NUV UTK ABL EST KAGD ATR. CVYT ATR AHY NN AKY ATYG AKR or not. He will push, we will assume, pleasure, and how to build a real world on that, and we will proceed further. Petr Tikva. He writes from now on the surrounding light and the inner light are in the gold outside the mouth. That means this is what is done above what is the shard of the surrounding light, and the inner light above the meeting of the inner lights. Inside the body as if it is, but inside the body. Dressing but. This is dressing. We only have Tel Aviv, that is a gap between what the screen in the mouth is, that it is all the light infinity to dress, which is a very thin stick. Why is there such a minute to feel the need for a screen between the desire to receive to hide, how they need to get closer to each other? So in the faces, how much did the kingdom receive? How much of the end actually she received in her faces? It is not about numbers or quantities, a certain part that is received inside. Florida, good morning, where 3rd paragraph to be revealed in the world from the deeds of the righteous. Yes. What are the deeds of the righteous? The deeds of the righteous reject this light. It dresses on a straight light and is called, and 2 of them build a new special situation where light dresses again on a straight light, and the company of the righteous. Asaph, Petr Tikva. Thank you, Rabbi. He writes in a moment. He writes in a hidden way. Inside the mouth, therefore in the shade. How can he can? He can to the mouth. Comprehensive it is not clear this. Subject before. Shalom Rabbi Shalom that. Inner light strikes the light. How can it? But for him everything all how to relate to the lambs. What is written? More and more and more. Where is it? We will reach the feeling to understand the subject. Good morning, dear Raf. Good morning. None. So si ho compriso bene. Marmir, demander e graf quester, ilrives demento della. Lurs, we feel like an influence on the desire that as a result of this we do. Dearly beloved ve otete ye l ye masp rose ekat ki chete there. Ke aka o ye ave a ya pe eve yete yerikilum. Structure from tools. To feel it angieno ate the te yesha eve yerite eve ate ve l e n e chete eve s e m eve n eve the ekatki te eve l e n e called ve l e n e ate ve ate. N ye pe n yete n pe yeche n eve s v k l the ekatki ate ye n n ye. He e ye a get ge te a ge a che te a ve a te te a ka a ge de ye en ye ve ka a ge de a n a m a je ye te n a che I n a te yui pe e. E te a ge a de ye a cat ge es te ve ya I te. E te ka en u te yuria I te es ye be ya es ve ye te. Good morning, dear teacher. When it is said that ormaca thins the air, can it be said that this is not an external effect? The action of the screen will recognize itself. We heard what you said. Now let's listen further to one more person. That's where the soul is born. It decided to it lobshut and fly. If te n s k a che a te ye che te e sha n m yeri s l te ve a et se a n a he a n ya elf a. Thank you. No eshi verlad berengeterm shu purarder esh kitim. This is a veto, and that comes out of the screen. These lights, all these actions, they all connect to the bull there. Hello, dear Raf. Ska ashe te ye. Per a fer a albucatka este a per a yage este a se yakade ye estateka ye te a ye en ye akki. Sve ye te en esha a te en ye en f s te iche sk a ya. SPAS l yusha o ye ge o ge the a be o te ya te a kape il nem a n e ya. Malchut had enough strength to push away all the light to accept all the light, so that there was no influx of strength. It then, thanks to the greater distance, we know this will be done with this action. Once again, what in our approach approaches the inner and surrounding, causes first of all the katish from the cause that they are, so they meet. Asks, is it something? That means ours, we are tools. That and therefore we only ourselves to be the light as he writes, and feel to what extent we have been asked. This question now that we hear questions, one we can approach. We need as now everyone wants to call what a person writes. Find the lines Peter Tickfer, who opens a quarter in space darkness, if there is, in the fila. We will talk about thanks and our inner explains together except here are connected together that there is no light and there is no light. First apostasy in direct light or inner, but the light that will come in. Returning light, this is the very light returning to dwarf. That means here it adds precision. We do surrounding lights come from Fatimid lights, in that which hits the controls, so we will still learn it is not simple. There is a whole system here. More set establish each other and challenge each other. Yes, both lights and spread surrounding cannot which there is the one that hinders the light. And since they are connected and included there, they are reminiscent, namely, of the same power that gives them to dress. Although by the power of their confusion this goes. Hear this factor. Because when you separate them from the Hewitts of Heener, only, also Heener, they disappear until we separate and there are no names. All the light inside disappears from the face that they strike each other within this one, the great friends of Oral. Yes, it strengthens in the greater Hewitts of the surrounding lights by the power of the worker. How is it until both of them go away as explained? Yes, open the tag of my father, open the bridge, not what we read now. We read it right there, is unity below. First question, if possible. Why, exactly the purification of their whole world is happening. But further, how would it be, spiritually, to act exactly like that? That is, I seem to be getting less. But at the same time, this is what happens, less than before, less. Before this we read that this is exactly this process of purification of their origin. Kechatikva. Thank you, Rabbi. So Rabbi, the question is in all, according to the light, how we actually form a couple of minutes the same upper light that we want. We feel that how we actually have felt correctly to receive the light. So we see to what extent we are not yet able. This is what he writes here, until the tool and the lights are dressed in a last question. I mean, are we here amplify the yes, there we try to be that we have endowed are common, and according to fortune, feel the real lack what is really missing. Almighty, thank you for allowing us to ask. Raf, maybe we understand a lot, and understand the features of the camp. Yes, Ave Ote. SV ikatki stv eveche n ase n ise a eveche n yege ets. Functional screen dressed in the light that stands inside the mouth and thus the face. After receiving these lights inside the mouth, then we feel how much is missing and continue on to the face of the one who has hope. I heard that we influence the spread of light. What is the correct influence? Maximum in our thoughts and actions were similar to him. We come to the letter H, the title. Before the codes, we have 10 sephirahs. There is no wall, because we do not make reality one tool, and then it began to be in it. The thing is called OT again, before the codes. In 10, it is necessary first, the reality of the fruits. They can make reality one tool, and then it began to be in it. The thing is called OT again, before the codes in 10. It is necessary first, the reality of the fruits. They can make reality one tool, and then it began to be in it. The thing is called OT again, before the reality of the inner face, the first face, which is called Kadmon, which is called Akodum, the upper. Light can dress in Shavio. Well, in part C, there is no examination of the tool. Yes, women spar before the side to our Lord. We will learn in a little while. Tick. The main action of the Kabbalists is prayer. Tell me, please, how is this feeling different? What do we need? What do we have so light in our systems? We feel it after, or as if. PT 5. Good morning to everyone. If the sephirahs are preachers, then what is it? While it is internal, what is it? The abbots of the tools for dealing with the rich during friction. Ben Res. We have such exercises, and we will work on it. 10. Merman has 5 portions. The sephirah is called the Shev Rabbi, the morning of the world, Chuvir. We have multiplied in the boats. The first reality of the Akodim was not the light that can be. There we have become a reality one tool, the light. What was not nobility in your possession, written without ceasing. The light is found in the Torahs that reveal the rune to receive, and of all the great light, the great light. What is the great light that initiates change men there? The relationship of the tools and the lights brings everything to light, which is what brings it to light. 1. Last question, with your permission, Rabbi. If it is possible, the lights have reached the world of Atzilut. Is it not, in fact, the work of the 10 of us? It begins, even less than Atzilut, but from the world of Atzilut. Before the world, it is revealed to us that we do not manage to identify with them, and therefore we do not recognize neither the world nor the P. If the wicked. Thank you very much, Rabbi. In the question, do the works we have done reveal the reactions of the light? But you will see that it is we who will find out about them. Before Dobro Atrogo Ravniam comes to us n a n a t l y t a n h a n a y n t h t a p a n a n a b n a s n a n a v a p a s t d a v l y n a y s v t a. Yes, yes. B a t t a k a k t n a k u d e n y t e n e a n o d e n r a c e l e a t r, which are filled around us in order to give us some part of the higher world, so that we can approach the higher world together and thus go further. How can we transmit light, and how can we transmit it? N y y t a m v d e n e l e k t a v I t v d y s y t k y. Only in the light you can, only in the 10 you can pass the light on to each other. We learned that from the work in the women of Europe. How to learn in the other cons. How do we do this besides connecting and praying? Is there anything else we need to do? Not. Through the connection, it helps us. What is first? It is first that they have their first foils, but fill them, clarify them, feel themselves. PT2I comes out of despondency. And what is polishing? Why do they seem to not get along there? Says in the opposite there is a desire to receive. Screen, the desire to receive. Similar, so they develop. Keter tikva, or in Peter. Tikva, Rabbi, how the light teaches the person to influence. Like him, teach the person to like the of the light in us. All the tools. We're to perceive these examples in life. Learning in life. Like this, okay, it's good we are already in the same place to finish the lesson. Maybe you will summarize the name that we go out until tomorrow. In them. Today we are in. You need to took both lights and lists. Learning the language is that brought us, and the next part of the lesson, the new next. Together. Read in the Zohar for the people. Kerach, page 382, section number, the whole. This is all about to reach the people. Most of our discover the attribute of influence increases and not as we are from us from that we are this. All about it is only how we reach nature in reverse. Kerach, page 382, Zohar 14, section number 240, which was sanctified, remained the creation of spirits, knows to serve it. Good and evil was very much in the world, in many, all in the body, that remained the creation. Today, Samar, all crafts with the purpose of the purpose. We have nothing and it is finished by itself that, the name, in a way that means that we can, through our work on the hill that belongs to the work of the helpers, do something and finish them. Therefore, they're to make them bodies until he perished. By this the Holy One, blessed be he, examined in the Torah, not the tree of knowledge is good, and the tree of knowledge is drowning. Then the first Adam, who wanted to overcome and did not go out to them to strengthen themselves in the world, as a daughter of points connected in the kingdom of mercy, the lower in the kingdom, that the kingdom programs in holiness, then a point of measure and the moistening, then the measure of justice in the kingdom is revealed, and the point of mercy dominates in his age if he is rewarded, and the point of mercy dominates in oath with raising to the mercy, and over the not only point of that Hebrew Lamed, Hebrew Dalet, Hebrew Ayin, Hebrew Tav, the knowledge, and then there was a defect also in the measure of justice, which is the point of understanding the hour of the first man after his successor. There is still some good that also in the world, also in the world, that there is no rescue from their hand. The Holy One, blessed be he, saw this from the return of the Spirit from the other side, because the Holy One, blessed be he, saw that the law of rest to the reins the other side is good and settled in the world, even though the law of the law had the power to clothe the bodies before and did not consider at all the head of the Sabbath in the world, in the blood in this world, and we will do it again, as Beck says that we expect that the same name will be celebrated after the Sabbath for us, that the world through this whole system that is corrected by them. These are the work of their continuation of the suffering. We will say that we will give then what we think in all the care that the younger generation demands. This is ours of their rest. It remains for us only to try as much as we can with words the length of the bodies, the spirits, and not, because the action of the Holy One, blessed be he, exists on the Sabbath in Genesis in what Adam, before the vision. Nevertheless, a year, even though man is still full, there is no body and spirit, sent the creation of the bodies and the awakening of the spirits at night. They themselves have not yet earned what was on the Sabbath in Genesis the first, and if there was the other side on this night, a moment that the world was considered in the spirits of the saints or of the wise. And then when he saw this is the other side, which, as he wanted to do, he goes and wanders. All those who serve to inherit the fall, that side of the wicked, row and kill. Already that day is sanctified, and holiness another reduces itself, colours the upper earth and the history, all quickly hide to attack. If the other side would precede the night for the people, because there was their history that there was a possibility in the good one, but the Holy One, blessed be he, preceded, and Dilim, before the side we were placed in the worlds with you, the world. Up to here the reading in the Zohar, and now let's go down to a second meal, and before we sing together, conclude here reading in the go to a meal now, and let's sing a song. First, Tyler Treachu 5. The sages said that there is no messing around at a meal. Maran, elation. During a meal, it illuminates, which is an aspect of illumination. So, as in silence too, we sit together and eliminate our ego. We want to transcend together. The light that returns to the earth will also give us the ability to connect, and we want our meal to be opposite to the one that is there. It repeats a lot that makes us exercises. It is for a meal. We are not. It was during the lesson. Today, we would sit for 2 hours without how to do it. It was very hist. It was possible to see on the rabbis and on several other Kabbalists at Isor. They drive during the meal. There is a place for great effort in receiving the food. It is against each other. I am acting now, my animal, with my soul. I am sitting now with 10 friends. We want this. They transcend and connect at the points in their hearts. I also do it with eating. All this came, all the blessings and all the things. To persuade as much as possible with the intention of the action becomes a pleasure to the Creator. Therefore, it is precisely the satisfaction of the soul to the Creator that we can do, especially during the right intentions. The physical in the spirit will develop and we will begin to feel. The problem is that a person needs to aim to channel the Creator to achieve everything. Great preparation is that a person needs to prepare for the 3 stages of preparation. The Kabbalists treated a meal no less than a lesson. Even a lesson has nothing to do with learning. But when you find yourself in the physical world, close to receiving the highest from which you receive conditions if you can ascend to the heavens, and so on,